After months of intense fighting in the skies, the maritime battle between Ukraine and Russia is also intensifying, with new claims pointing to strikes far beyond the usual front lines. Ukraine says it struck 2 Russian vessels in the Caspian Sea, and it claims both ships were already under U.S. sanctions for suspected involvement in military-linked shipments. According to Ukraine's account, the 2 vessels were sanctioned by the United States for transporting military cargo between Iran and Russia, linking the ships to the broader wartime supply chain. Ukraine Special Forces said the vessels were targeted with help from a local resistance group, suggesting the operation relied on insiders and regional networks rather than a direct conventional strike. While Ukraine alleged the ships were being used for military purposes, it did not release operational details, leaving the method, weapon system, and damage assessment unconfirmed. The Special Forces stated only that the local groups supplied intelligence on the vessel's movements, implying the strike depended on tracking routes, timing, and cargo patterns. In a telegram statement, Ukraine's Special Operations Forces said their unit worked with the rebel movement Chernaya Iskra, claiming they conducted a special operation that ended with a successful hit. They alleged the strike hit 2 Russian vessels near the coast of Russia's Republic of Kalmykia in the Caspian Sea, and claimed the ships were transporting weapons and military equipment. Ukraine said representatives of the rebel movement provided detailed information on both the route and the cargo, implying precise targeting based on pre-verified shipping data. The statement identified the vessels as the Composer Rachmaninov and the Asker Saridza, describing them as ships allegedly used by the Russian Federation in support roles. It further claimed the ships served military purposes and were under U.S. sanctions specifically for participating in the transfer of military cargo between Iran and Russia. The report comes as Russian President Vladimir Putin recently met his Iranian counterpart in Ashgabat, holding high-level talks that highlighted the growing political alignment between the 2 countries. The Iran-Russia meeting took place on the sidelines of Turkmenistan's International Forum for Peace and Trust, offering both sides a major diplomatic stage despite Western pressure. Putin said Russia-Iran relations were developing very positively, even under sanctions, signaling that Moscow sees Tehran as a long-term partner rather than a temporary wartime ally. Iran and Russia have expanded cooperation since Moscow's invasion of Ukraine began in 2022, with allegations and counter-allegations focusing on weapons transfers and battlefield support. Western governments have accused Iran of supplying Shahed drones to Russia, but Tehran has repeatedly rejected these accusations and disputes the scale and nature of any involvement. Multiple reports say Shahed-type drones are now manufactured in Russia under the name Garin, suggesting drone production has become localized and harder to disrupt through sanctions alone. According to reports from the battlefield, waves of Shahed-style drones have helped overwhelm Ukrainian air defenses, forcing Kyiv to expend interceptors and stretch radar coverage across wide areas. On December 10th, Ukraine said its sea drone struck and disabled an oil tanker trading Russian oil, indicating a continued push to disrupt maritime revenue streams. Ukraine claimed the tanker was part of Russia's Shadow Fleet and was moving through Kyiv's economic zone in the Black Sea, placing it within the area Ukraine says it has the right to police. Ukraine released dramatic footage that it says shows sea drones racing toward the vessel and striking it, using video evidence to reinforce its claims and deter future shipments. Ukrainian officials said this was the 3rd sea drone strike in just 2 weeks against Russia's Shadow Fleet, signaling a sustained maritime campaign rather than a one-off attack.